Intellect is the ability to discern rightly, to distinguish rightly. That is intellect. The ability to see things with clarity is intellect. Opposite of intellect is the mind, which we have been studying. Opposite of intellect is the mind and the consequences of the unguided mind. When we say mind, obviously what it means is unguided. When we say emotions, what obviously it means is unguided. The moment emotions are guided, there's no problem. So emotions, whenever we talk about emotions, it is implied that it is the emotions that is not unguided emotions, not guided. It can be an unguided good emotion or it can be unguided bad emotion. Doesn't make any difference. Nevertheless, emotions by nature will be unguided. Second, it cannot regulate itself. It's not a self-regulatory mechanism. Emotions cannot handle itself. Emotions cannot regulate itself. If emotions can regulate itself, you don't need anything from the outside. It can take care of itself. So emotions by nature is unguided and it cannot self-regulate itself. Therefore, something which is distinct and different from the mind must guide the mind. That entity that guides the mind, that instrument is known as intellect. That instrument is known as intellect. Impartial observer and impartial understanding of things is intellect. Emotions makes you partial. Partial means emotion always keeps you at the emotion keeps you at the center all the time. You are the center for as far as your emotions are concerned. Who's the center as far as your emotions are concerned? You. That's all. Nobody from outside matters other than you, isn't it? In our story, who is the hero? Always you are the hero in your story. Everything will revolve around you only, isn't it? Whatsoever the hero does is correct, isn't it? Even if he is insulting, if the hero is insulting, it is correct. If anybody else does it, it's wrong. That's how we create stories, no? Isn't it? Whatever the hero in that movie does is he can absolutely insult, he can absolutely cheat, he can do anything and everything, but if he does, that's correct, sir. If anybody else were to do the same thing, it is injustice, it is, isn't it? So emotions keeps itself as the center, and it is always the hero in its creation. It means it keeps itself as the central point. This way of functioning keeps you in perpetual conflict. This way of living life, what will happen to that human being? If you are living life with this, you will be in perpetual conflict. Even if you have to live with Lord Krishna, you will end up fighting with Lord Krishna also. Because even poor Krishna can't unsave you. Isn't it? Even if you were to live with Rama, that Rama also will look like Ravanatha. Because you keep yourself as the center. That's the nature of emotion. You can. Emotion means self-pampering mechanism. That's what emotion is. Emotion is always looking for, emotion constantly looks for what? Attention seeking, pampering. That's all emotions. Under all circumstances, attention will be upon itself and it always seeks pampering. That's all emotions, isn't it? Even if you go to a wedding, also you will seek attention. No, even in a wedding, the attention should not be on the couples getting married. Even in a wedding, where should be the attention? On you, isn't it? That's why you say after coming back from the wedding, I will never again go there. Why? Because they don't know how to respect her. They didn't pay attention to you, isn't it? So, you go to a wedding, the attention should be on you. Okay, you go to a funeral. What is the central point of attention in a funeral? The central point of attention in a funeral is what? The person who died. No, emotion will want attention there also. Wherever irrespective of the circumstance, irrespective of the situation, irrespective of anything and everything, the focus should be on me. This is called emotion, unguided. Intellect comes and says, you cannot live life like this. You cannot live life. No, I will continue to live life like this only. Correct. If you choose to continue to live life like this, accept misery as, be happy with misery. Be happy, miserable. If you say, no, I don't want to be miserable, then you have to change. What is the change? The intellect must start guiding the emotions. Intellect guides the emotion. What guides the intellect? The scriptures guide the intellect. That sequence we have studied already. It is intellect that guides the mind, emotions, and actions. What guides the intellect? The Shastras. So, intellect has to guide three things. Intellect has to guide intelligence, intellect has to guide emotions, intellect has to guide actions. If intellect is not there to guide these three, all these three can become destructive. Again, I repeat, intellect is needed to guide three things. The first thing that intellect is needed is to guide your intelligence. If intellect is not guiding your intelligence, you become you become wicked, manipulative. You can easily manipulate the destructive force. You follow? Intellect should guide intelligence, intellect should guide emotion, and intellect should guide action. It means intelligence, emotion, and action cannot do anything to the intellect. If intellect has to guide these three, a combination of these three is not a strong intellect. Then what is intellect? That which is strengthened by the study of the Shastras. What you don't understand is deadly combination, these three. What are the deadly combination? Intelligence plus unguided intelligence plus unguided emotion, making choices. Other than devastation. What is the devastation of a human being? Intelligence plus unguided emotions. When it makes choices, what will be the consequence? What will be the consequence? Disaster. It's an absolute disaster. Look at the power of these three. Tragedies, we don't understand the power of these three. Because we have seen this any number of times. The paradox of life. What is the paradox of life? Who understands the power of these three? One who has mastered these three understands the power of these three. One who is a victim of these three will never understand it. அதுதான் paradox. So again, புரியுதா? இந்த மூணுத்தினுடைய whoever has mastered these three understands the devastating nature of these three. If anybody is a victim of these three, one who is a victim of these three will not understand the power of these three. This is the paradox of life. புரியுதா? Who understands the importance of education, uneducated or educated? Who knows the importance of education, educated or uneducated? Logically speaking, uneducated. Paradox of life says educated, isn't it? It is educated who understands the importance of education and blow their lungs out to the uneducated. The uneducated will say, அவ்வளோ முக்கியம்லாம் இல்லை சார், இது இல்லாத கூட we can survive. The uneducated will say it's not all that important because even without it I can survive. The educated will tell you what? What will the educated tell you? இது இல்லாம you cannot survive without it. You cannot live without it. You cannot survive without it. The entire humanity will turn back and say, no, sir, it's not needed. Because even without it, we have been surviving for so long. No. Even without it, we have been surviving for so long. It means, அது இல்லாம கூட what can you tell them? Paradox of life. Who understands the importance of education? The educated. Who understands the importance of intellect? The one who has it. Who understands the importance of cleanliness? The unclean or the clean one? Who knows the value of cleanliness? The unclean one or the clean ones? Huh? Logically unclean tha. But it doesn't work like that. Paradox. What is a paradox? It is the clean that get into OCDs, no? Yeah, clean people will get into OCD. Unclean people will have no. They will say, oh, everything is all right. What is the problem? Nothing is, isn't it? In every facet of life, this paradox functions.